everybody. Solomon Knight here.
This is Cedric.
And this is Ming.
Yeah, this is going to be something new. We're still going to use the intro for this, but this is important, and it can't wait until Sunday. But we need it at 24 hours so we can get more information on it. From the Hill, Joint Chiefs of Staff spokesperson confirms Milley's calls with China defends him as routine. Let me get rid of this.
No. Something about informing an enemy state of potential attack plans doesn't sound like routine.
Not only is that not routine, it is treason. That's basically showing your cards. Like in poker, you never show your hand, so why would you do that when it comes to war?
And per the Constitution, there's only one punishment that traitors are fit for.
Chiropractor. What is? Okay, let's say a neck massage. A quick neck massage.
Let's just say
a short drop and a sudden stop.
Yes. Gotta be careful because censorship. So, here goes from the Hill.
A really good deep tissue massage.
Yeah. From the Hill, all calls from the chairman to his counterparts, including those reported, are staff coordinated and communicated with the Department of Defense and their interagency. What this tantamount to is a military coup. There was a military coup in the United States. Not a grand. Most people have the idea of a military march on the street to take out the commander-in-chief, but no, this is usually how military coups happen. They just say, "Nah, just listen to me, not the person in charge." And
so there was the.
Go ahead.
I was going to say there's two parts to this story that are being reported in this book that is coming out. And CNN is reporting on it as well. Like even the left-wing media is reporting on it, but they're defending it. They're saying that, okay, so let's get this straight first. There's these two parts. First, he ordered that no one is to carry out any orders with regards to nuclear weapons unless the orders come from him. Which is already insubordination because the commander has the ultimate authority on the nuclear weapons.
That can get you court-martialed.
That should get him court-martialed.
So, is it going to happen? Would be,
according to the U.S. code, that is tantamount to treason already. Now, the second part of this story is that after the thing that happened in January, frickin' Milley made a phone call to one of the top generals of the People's Liberation Army in China and said, by the way,
I was going to say that happened in October. I've been looking at stuff. Turns out that was in October, which actually.
So that was in October.
Actually, here goes something that should throw some alarm bells up. You guys notice how China has been saber rattling? They've been getting rid of the girly men. Just a thought. Maybe they aren't concerned about the United States attacking because Milley has been telling them that they aren't going to do anything. They've been doing all these.
Not only that.
Go ahead.
Not only that, but this second part of this story is a second count of treason because Milley, regardless of the timetable, told General Lee, one of the top generals in the PLA, that if the U.S. is going to attack China, Milley will let them know ahead of time. So that is a second count of treason.
That is worth a very deep tissue massage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
are you in the right room? Your voice chat is not showing up.
My voice. I am in the show room.
You are. I don't know what's going on. Why it's only showing me and Ming talking.
That's odd.
Yeah.
But as a result of this is what happened. Like this is how our military is, and this is basically like Ming said, this is a military coup, and all this will turn into being is that all it shows is that our current commander-in-chief, the guy that's supposed to be running things, he's not running things.
Well, it was always shown that he was not going to run things. I mean, look at him. Does he look like he's able to decide what he wants for dinner that night, yet alone actually run the country?
Oh, no, he does not.
Okay, now you're showing up.
So this whole thing with Millie is actually not just appalling, but it scares me. Because, and this is something that Solo brought up in a private message to me earlier, and also in the group chat, that we're all three of us, we're military age men, and should we be ever in a war with China or another opponent, another enemy?
We're
Uh,
dropping. We're gonna get dropped there.
exactly, and we'll just be cannon fodder because we'll have General Milley telling them where we're going and what we're doing.
Well,
And I don't know
Cedric
about
and
you,
I might
but
be able to finesse our way out of being cannon fodder. We can just say, "Oh, you want your white rage in order to use us as cannon fodder." So I'm not gonna be cannon fodder, but I will still be there. Ming, you're a little bit harder to pass. I'm not gonna lie.
I might get lucky with a non-combat position because of my linguistic skills, but who knows?
Sure. But still,
this is where it's
heavy shit.
this is where this is where the rubber meets the road. Like, if anyone ever had a doubt that that we have traitors we have treasonous people in
The
our
highest rungs of government.
Yes, in the highest levels of government,
especially military.
That the people that are supposed to be defending Americans are turning around and just are going to sell us out. And at the end of the day, all this costs is more lives.
Well, there's one thing I should bring up. This is going to be just a message to anybody on the right. Ditch the support of the military now.
The military is not your friend.
They are literal traitors, as this shows. They do not have your back.
At least the military leadership.
If you're a right winger and in the military, get out. They want
you gone.
Yeah, let them.
Yeah.
You know what? Let Millie take on white rage. Let him take on white fragility. Let him take on wokeness. Do it. I want him to do it. He is not my.
And
me and him have nothing in common. So let him take it.
What this should incite is a military coup that let's just say that gives Millie what he deserves, because this is directly resulting in this will directly result in the deaths of the unnecessary deaths of many U.S. persons, and I can't say men because our military is all woke and crap.
That's why I say let them go woke. I'm sorry, but it'll be easier for us if they go woke.
So I can sympathize with what you're saying, Solo, but at the same time, I still believe in the idea of America, and also the idea of an American military that defends our people.
Hey, I do.
What I will say,
let them go woke.
What I will say is that if there is any honor left in any of our military leadership, they ought to, our commander-in-chief ought to put Millie on leave pending an investigation, and then Millie should be brought to court-martial for 2 counts of treason.
It's not going to happen.
There's
the current commander-in-chief
it won't happen
agrees
because
with
the current
Millie.
commander, right? And that's why he's called Beijing Joe. None of this surprises me, but I don't know. It's just,
as I said, let them go woke because we have nothing in common at this point. I get the idea that you want. It's just that time is gone. It'll be easier for all of us if they just go woke. They just show their true colors. Therefore,
here's the counterpoint to that.
How can we defend our homeland and our allies? We've already shown that we're not going to be able to defend our allies because we fell back and we left Afghanistan.
Don't worry, this is recorded. Taiwan, curse. I'll cut it out. Oh, try not to do too much so I can have.
I know. I was really. I almost said something bad.
You already did.
But I didn't finish the word.
Go ahead, finish.
But no, but like we have people in Taiwan are crapping in their pants.
And they desperately are wanting some insurance from us, but we're not even.
We're not able to give that assurance because our commander-in-chief. Yeah, Pretty much, because Milley is friends with General Lee.
This whole bombshell just says officially that the United States was going to do anything. Milley would personally see that the United States was not going to help out Taiwan,
which is actually in violation of the Taiwan Defense Act. We are bound by legislation that was passed in both the House and the Senate and signed by the president at the time of its passing, that we have a obligation to defend Taiwan in the case of a Chinese invasion. And the fact that General Milley said that we're not going to do that, that's ridiculous, because when he took an oath to defend the Constitution, and when he took an oath when he joined the military, not only to defend the Constitution, but also to obey the orders of the Commander-in-Chief, he also took an oath to abide by the laws passed by Congress with relation to war. And defending Taiwan is one of those laws.
So as of right now,
instead he wants to make.
I mean, as we've seen from the current administration, they don't particularly care about any laws or the Constitution, or all they care about is their authority and their power.
They want power, and so I say, you know what? Let them go woke. You know why? They aren't defending us anyway. They're doing their job anyway, so they go woke. That just makes our job all the more easier. I'm not calling for violence. I'm just saying, defend yourself. That's all I'm saying. You have a right to defend yourself. And why
okay, and so I'm going to counter you on that.
I was going to say, defend yourself and make it as easy as possible to defend yourself. So let them go woke.
Okay, and so personally, I would like to avoid a military confrontation of any kind.
Oh yeah.
Now, whether that happens with China, that's probably going to happen. But the base job of the U.S. military in the first place is to protect the U.S. Is to protect our own soldiers, and for two, our homeland. And with Milley doing what he's done so far, we can't even do that. They aren't even doing that. So, and I understand why you say let them go woke, but if there's any honor among not just the military and the executive department, but any of the other generals, if they don't see any action from the top brass, they need to be dealing with this themselves. This should at least inspire a military coup, because there was
a military coup. We are looking at it.
So there was a military coup that most of the military was unaware of. Yep. The only people that were aware of were the chiefs of staff, including the chairman, who is General Milley.
Oh, but what that should mention that it was, I think, Terrence Spock who said that the only way for you to get this high up in the military is to just kiss whoever's behind you need to. And, well, we're starting to see the results of it. Speaking of which, you know why we were so effective in World War II? Well, one of the main reasons why? We didn't have as many generals. 2, we fired them. We routinely fired, okay, you're relieved of duty, get out of here. Now we don't fire them anymore. And look what happens.
Well, that's what happens across the board when it comes to tenure in general. If you give all the government employees that basically have job security, because the government's the government, and any teachers that have tenure, you see routinely that people will just kiss ass just to get to top positions and to make just to be the people in charge, and they turn out to be really, really bad leaders, and
they can't get fired.
And they can't get fired. And in this case, this is just going to get people killed. They already have gotten people killed. For our vets, the people our 13 soldiers that got killed a few weeks ago. And you see our U.S. government saying, our thoughts and prayers, but over something that was completely preventable.
100%. Now, I have a legal question I don't know the answer to. Maybe one of you two will. If someone in military command resigns and retires, can they still be court-martialed?
No.
I don't know.
Not
That's
after.
Are you sure about that? Because
I don't
President
know.
Trump was impeached
If they-
after he left office.
Yeah, let's face it. That impeachment was just, shall we think, because it goes into the coup. Because look what happened just during the impeachment. Pelosi pressed Pentagon on safeguards to prevent Trump from ordering military action, and this
Now that
was
should-
Oh yeah.
this happened.
Okay, this is kind of
January
funny though.
Pelosi has, the thing is, Pelosi has no authority over the military.
In fact,
She
they told
absolutely none.
She's a civilian, and she never has had any authority over the military. The only authority she has over the military really is as a
someone can
voting
declare
party
war.
within the Congress, and the entire Congress has to vote to declare war. It doesn't. It's not a. She doesn't get to make any of that decision.
That being said,
I think it has to be 60%. I think of Congress has to vote to declare war.
Yes, 60% of Congress. Now that said, I'll get to you. You can go after me. Sorry, but that said, the fact that for one that she's generally concerned that Trump could could influence military action even after he's left office, that should say how weak, for one, our executive branch, like how weak our current leaders are, and the fact that they know that they're riding on a hairpin because they're pushing things too far.
yeah.
And they're trying to consolidate their own power.
Yeah.
Although there's one thing I want to add on that allegedly what Pelosi tried to do failed was because she was told that'd be tantamount to a military coup. However, Milley already was doing what she asked him to do. So, yeah, there was multiple actors subverting. And let's say Trump was still president. Would he be able to do much? This is why we say, let's stop focusing on politics and let's focus on the culture, because that's
I
all we
mean,
can
Trump
expect
actually,
from-
if Trump was in power, if Trump was in office, he could have fired Milley over this.
He could
He very well could
would
have
he?
fired Milley.
Because think about it.
Yeah,
What's
he
his
would.
name? Fauci's still employed.
Because listen. I believe that if Trump had retained office, if he had been inaugurated to a second term, not only would Fauci be fired, but also Milley would have been fired as soon as this came to light. I don't think that Trump knew about this, because if he did, because Trump is one of those guys that values loyalty over anything else, and Milley's lack of loyalty not only to Trump himself, but also because Milley is a Trump appointee. But not only his lack of loyalty to Trump, but his lack of loyalty to the Constitution would have been perfect grounds for Trump to fire him, and Trump would have fired him on the spot and then ordered an investigation.
Yeah.
And granted, on back on the military, the leaders are resigning. As long as the infraction happens before they're resigning, then they can still be court-martialed. But and I'm pretty sure state secrets is kind of is an immediate court-martial.
It should be.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys want to wrap this up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But
this is the Legion.
don't trust your leaders. This is what they are.
You want to say that again?
Yeah,
don't trust these leaders that they clearly are selling you out for $1. So know your worth.
No, I don't think that it's right for any of our military leaders to claim to be friends with a top general in the PLA. That's just BS.
Well, not just the PLA, an enemy nation in general.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
This has been the Legion Special Report. This is Solomon.
This has been your boy Ming, it's been your boy Cedric.
Don't steal my identity, man. And this has been Ming.
All right, and this show is over.
The BLM and Antifa had set upon the town. They called it peaceful protest as they burned shit to the ground. A young man watching slapped his mag and chambered his first round. They ain't gonna loot no more.
Hello there, this is Solomon Knight, and I take it you made it to the end of the video. I graciously want to say thank you for your time. If you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe. I also have several social media accounts that you can follow me on, and there's even some alt tech exclusives. Link in the descriptions below. See you there.